And ang magpapatagal niyang class and their legal effects. Yung kinds lang, okay lang yun. Baka 5 minutes na, tapos na natin to 10 minutes. Pero yung legal effects nila, doon tayo magtatagal. Yun ang tinatanong sa board exam. Ang easy time dyan, what are the kinds? Pero yung challenging source of question is, ano legal effects? So dito muna tayo sa remedies. If you remember, we discussed last meeting the primary and the secondary remedies. Yung primary remedies are, what are the primary remedies? Yun yung, nawawala yung eraser ko. Pinaglaruan ng mga bata. Anyway, principal remedies, tatlo. Specific performance para sa determinate thing. Generic performance para sa indeterminate thing. Ang generic performance is really substituted performance. Specific performance, substituted performance para sa generic, para sa obligation to do at saka not to do, and yung remedies na pwede sa kanilang lahat. So, ano yun, sir? Yung equivalent performance. Pwede sa determinate, pwede sa indeterminate, sa to do, not to do. Ano nga uli ang equivalent performance? Sa salitang Tagalog, sa salita natin, perahin mo na lang. And, cash na lang po. At okay na sa akin. Yun ang specific performance. Ay, rather equivalent performance. So that is what we will cover today. The equivalent performance. Ay, yung when there is fault rather. The subsidiary remedies naman are aksyon subrogatoria at saka aksyon pauliana. Bakit sila secondary remedies? Kasi they are secondary or subsidiary remedies if only the primary remedies are not available or insufficient. Yun ang tinatawag na exhaustion of the exhaustion of primary remedies rule. Okay? Yung action subrogatoria, yun yung, di ba, yung the debtor of my debtor is also my debtor. Ang tao may utang sa tao, may utang sa akin, ay may utang din sa akin. Di ba, may joke pa tayo? The friend of my friend is my friend. Okay lang yun? The lover of my lover is my lover. Siya, joke lang yun. Siyempre, hindi. The friend of my friend is also my friend. The debtor of my debtor is also my debtor. Pag binaligtad mo, the creditor of my creditor is also my creditor. Okay? Now, punta tayo ngayon sa mas seryoso ngayon. Sir, paano po ba malalaman na there is fault? Kailan mo masasabi na may kasalanan? Justifying remedies. So, eto class ngayon ang maraming students na nalilito dito class. Ito yung tinatawag nilang sources of breach of obligation. Breach of obligation with fault. So, mag-ingat kayo class. Iba yung sources of obligation. Sa sources of breach of obligation with fault. Ang sources of obligation, yun yung pinakaunang diniscuss natin. What we discussed last meeting, yung law, contract, quasi-contract, delict, at saka quasi-delict. They are the sources of civil obligation. Dito, plus, the sources of breach of obligation, meron ng obligation. Pero hindi niya na-perform yung obligation due to his fault. So, some call it sources of fault or sources of breach of obligation with fault. And yan sila, class. You see? So, pag sinabi, sources of breach of obligation with fault, it's FNDC. If it is sources of obligation, it is the law, contract, quasi-contract, delict, and quasi-delict. Na alam nyo na. Yung mga absent, get notes from your friends. Hindi na ako mag-check ng attendance because waste of time yun. I consider you responsible. You will be listening because what you are doing is for yourself, not for us. If there is really a problem, kung minsan may problema ka talaga na you really have to attend, you cannot be there, you can get notes from your friends. Di ba? Kasi sayang. Dahil you paid for this. That's why you pay tuition fees. Well, you pay tuition fees, pagkatapos hindi mo mapapakinggan. Tapos pagdating ng exam, konti mababa na ang grade mo. Isipin mo, nagbayad ka na, konti natutunan mo, mababa pa ang grade mo. Samantalang, kung hindi ka man maka-attend, you get notes para makahabol ka. Tsaka class, di ba may face-to-face tayo na before the prelim or before the first pre-board. So, we will be meeting almost the whole day. Magkasama tayo. So, yung mga notes mo na may question ka, yun, pwede mong lapitan ng mga reviewers. Kami mga reviewers nyo, we are anytime available. Basta, after the class, you can approach us and pinakamaganda niyang class, i-prepare nyo na yung question nyo. Yes, yan ang pinakamaganda dyan. Hindi yung saka mo ididiretso. Kasi kung minsan, pag nandun ka na, kung minsan nakakalimutan mo or hindi maganda yung delivery mo doon sa question, hindi tuloy maganda ang dating. O kaya, hindi kayo nagkakaroon ng real meeting of minds with your professor. So better write the question. Hindi mo naman kailangan Englishin yun, kahit Tagalog lang class. Para pagkatanong mo, sir, yun ho bang vanishing deduction? See, yung pong portion na, see, yung area na yun. Okay, balik tayo dito, class. So what is FNDC? F for fraud, which we call dolo. Negligence, which is called culpa. Delay, favorite yung class exam. Delay, which is popularly called moral. And contravention of the tenor of the obligation. Contravention of the tenor of the obligation. Okay. We'll erase this for me. So, fraud or dolo here is dolo incident. Yan, not dolo, the other kind of dolo. Not dolo causante. Kasi yan ang two kinds of dolo. Maraming nagte-take ng board exam na hindi naalala at yung iba nga, hindi alam anong clear difference sa dolo causante at dolo incidente. Ano yung mga terminologies dito? Una, it is also called incidental fraud. Also called fraud in the performance of obligation. Also known as malice, also known as bad faith. Yan siya. Yan ang isang terminology lang yan, class. Pag nakita mo sa exam, preho na yan sila. Incidental fraud, fraud in the performance, malice, or bad faith. Because dito, the purpose is to evade the normal, to evade the performance. To evade the performance of the obligation. That's why remedy is damages. You will ask for damages. Yun yung mental, if you remember, any of them. Moral, exemplary, nominal, temperate, actual, liquidated. Depende sa situation. Unlike dolo causante. Dolo causante is also known as, alam niyo ha, dito ang board natin, pasensya tayo ng konti. Also known as causal fraud. Fraud in the celebration of contracts. See, also known as deceit, also known as serious or intrinsic fraud. By the way, kung intrinsic yan, ito ay extrinsic fraud. Extrinsic kasi sa outside of the contract. Example, diamonds. Nagbenta ng diamond, dineliver, puwet ng baso. Puwet. Mga puwet ng baso. C, the purpose is to evade the performance. Nanloko ka externally. Hindi katulad dito within the contract in itself. Intrinsic. That's why. Example. Example. Dito na lang yung example. Example. Pinapirma mo siya ng autograph para makuha mo yung signature niya. Yung pala, babakat yung signature niya, yung palang autograph ay deed of donation. Dinodonate na niya yung para makuha mo lang yung signature niya doon sa autograph na yun. See, the purpose of this autograph is to get the signature. So what is the purpose of dolo causante? The purpose is to get the consent of the other party. That's why iba yung remedy sa dolo causante class. The remedy is annul the contract. Remedy is annulment. Annul the contract plus damages. Nandun pa rin ang damages pero hindi damages ang iyong pinaka-main action. Unlike here, remedy damages ang iyong pinaka-main action. But here, your main action is annul the contract because you did not give your consent. See, class? So when we speak of dolo as a breach of obligation, as a mode of breach of obligation, we are referring to dolo incidente, not dolo causante. Nadidiscuss ang dolo causante sa contracts. At least alam nyo na. Okay? See? Yeah. Very important yan. Marami mga students na they just neglect it. They don't know that the difference between the two class is very important. Knowing the difference between dolo causante and dolo incidente, very important. Malaki ang lamang mo sa student na hindi alam ang difference sa dalawa yan. Okay. Kita mo? Nanloko siya. Diamond ang i-deliver niya. Pero puwet ng baso pa na. See? That's why it is fraud in the performance. So let's go now to culpa. Negligence or culpa. Erase na sa negligence or culpa. So, culpa here class, culpa. Culpa here is culpa contractu. Culpa contractu. Not culpa affiliana. See? So, another, balikan. I-compare na naman natin. Ano ba ang pagkakaiba nitong culpa contractu versus culpa aquiliana, CA. Culpa contracto is source of breach of obligation with fault. Culpa aquiliana is source of obligation. Yan klase quasi-delict. Yan si torts. Yan si, discuss natin sa torts. Yan si quasi-delict or what you call civil negligence. Samantalang ito, ang tawag sa kanya ay contractual negligence or negligence resulting to breach of contract. Ito, negligence creating the obligation. Example class, ha? Example. In a vehicular accident. A vehicular accident. Parehong negligence yan, ha? Negligence. Na merong fault. Vehicular accident. If it is pedestrian versus the bus na dumaan, kasagasaan niya. Actually, class, that is CA. Culpa aquiliana or what you call quasi-delict. Pag nagdemanda si pedestrian versus the bus or the bus company, quasi-delict ang kanyang cause of action. Although versus the driver, kung siya ay na-injure, yun yung culpa kriminal. Kasi ang purpose, ipakulong niya. Reckless imprudence resulting to serious physical injury at kung may death, homicide. Dito kasi ang purpose ay damages. Money. Pag sinabi mo damages, pera. Now, if it is between the passenger of the bus versus the bus where he is riding. Kasi reckless yung driver. Let's say sumabog yung gulong. Because of that, nawala ng brake, bumangga sa poste, na-injure yung mga pasahero. Pag yung mga pasahero nagdemanda versus the bus company, it is CC. Culpa contracto. Kung culpa aquiliana, i-dismiss yan ng judge class kasi wrong cause of action. See? Wrong source. It should be culpa contracto. Ano yung binreach niya? Contract of carriage. Transportation law. Na you will bring me to my place of destination as safe as possible. See? Sir, you will ask me, sir, hindi ba fortuitous event yun? No, class. Supreme Court decision yan. Kung ang may kasalanan ay public utility vehicle. Yan, yung mga common carrier na yan. Yung nawala ng brake, yung sumabog na gulong is not considered fortuitous event. They are not, rather. Considered fortuitous event because preventable sila. Madali mo ma-prevent yan, yung brake na yan, because bago ka lumarga, dapat i-check mo yung brake. Yung gulong naman, malalaman mo kung manipis na yan. Kung manipis na yan, pwedeng madali nang sumabog yan, pagkalalo na kung overloading. You see? Kaya, lost brake, butok na gulong, exploding tires, no, they are not fortuitous event. Liable ang bus company. Ngayon, yung driver versus the driver, also the same culpa, kriminal. Because nga ang purpose, ipabilanggo siya. Pero dito, when you ask for damages, the basis of damages should be culpa contractu, not culpa aquiliana. Ganon din class kong. Kaya strict ang school ninyo pag sa loob para sa mga outsider. Pag outsider yan, very strict ang school dahil pag yung outsider na yan class, may nagawa siya. may nasaksak siya o may nanakaw siya, no? May na-injure siya na student sa loob, then nakatakas. The class liability ng school. Because it is the duty or obligation of the school to make the four corners of the school, within the four corners of the school, as safe as possible for its clients or customers. And the client or customers ay ang mga students. Okay? So, class, kailangan sure ka dyan na ano yung pagkakaiba ng culpa contractus sa culpa affiliate. Okay, medyo sige, you may copy for a while to organize your notes. Because we have to be clear on this matter. Marami rin nagte-take ng board exam na nakakalimutan ng pagkakaiba niya. Almost every board exam may question dyan. Kasi kung 100 questions yan, 100 questions and each question may 4 na multiple choice. So, pwedeng in each question, it can cover 4 principles or 4 concepts. Kasi yung question, i-correlate mo doon sa 4 na choices. Pwedeng each choice is a different concept. You see? Okay. Ang one class, ang CC versus CA. Let's go further. Ang culpa contractu dito class. Another very important distinction is the role of the diligence of a good father of a family, which we call ordinary diligence. Ano ang role, hindi ruler, role, R-O-L-E, ng CC sa CA and CA. Ang ordinary diligence sa CC as a rule is not a defense. Whereas in CA, it is a defense that can remove, reduce, or even terminate the obligation. Kaya pag tinanong ka class, ano yung culpa na ordinary diligence or diligence of a good father of a family is not a defense? CC. Pwede kong itanong yan sa inyong quiz o sa inyong pre-board. A kind of culpa wherein diligence of a good father of a family is not a defense. CC. Not CA. Then you will ask me, sir, ano po ba ang diligence required in the CC? Because in culpa contracto class, it is the diligence stipulated, see, or the diligence required by law for that contract. Katulad ng common carrier. See, common carrier contracts, the law requires extraordinary diligence. Kasi namamasahero ka, yung mga public utility vehicles na yan, extraordinary diligence ang class. Kaya yung mga baliw na mga jeepney driver na kung magpatakbo pa, nakikita nyo class, yung pa-zigzag-zigzag pa sila. Lalo na yung papuntang Cubao, papuntang Kogyo ba yun? Or Fairview na mga jeep. Baliw. Pa-zigzag-zigzag pa sila pagka konti ang nakikita nilang tumatakbo sa kalsada, paano pag biglang nawala ng brake yan? Culpa contracto yan. That's why hindi ordinary diligence, but diligence but extraordinary diligence. Another important thing is presumption of culpa in the injury. Pag merong injury kasi sa culpa contracto, negligence is presumed. Sir, di ko maintindihan. Class, yung pinsan mo pumasok doon sa bus, nawala namang hindi pilay. Paglabas sa bus, pilay na. Kasi nga bumangga yung bus, na-injure siya, pipilay-pilay na siya. Presume. Hindi kailangan i-prove. Ibig sabihin, the burden of proof is on the part of the common carrier. Presume ang culpa or negligence in the injury. Samantalang dito, class, sa culpa achilliana, it is not presumed naman. Kailangan i-prove mo. Prove it. Ikaw na offender, offended party. Si class, ha? It is not presumed. Injured party must. Injured party must prove it. Dito, class, no? Hindi kailangan i-prove ng injured party because it is already presumed. Pumasok yung pinsan ko na hindi pilay. Bakit? Bakit paglabas sa bus na yan or train na yan, pilay na siya? Presume something went wrong inside. Si class. Ayan, ha? Okay, that's the most important things. Meron pa mga ibang distinction pero pang bar exam na class. Masyado na malalim yun. Ha? Tama na yan. Tama na yan ng mga distinction. Punta na tayo sa number 3. Mas favorite yung class. Favorite to. Mas favorite yung number 3. Sir, ano yung number 3? Number 3 is, ito ang number 3, the third source. Delay or mora. By the way, sometimes it is called default. Pero class, may technical difference sila. But in civil law, they are used interchangeably. Mora. Tatlong mora, ha? Mora, solvendi, mora, accipiendi, at saka compensatio morae. Compensatio morae. Compensatio morae. Wait. Provide class, ha? Anyway, sulat muna natin. Mora solvendi is debtor's delay. Delay is the failure to perform the obligation on the due date. Kaya ngayon, ito is debtor's delay in performing the obligation. Ito is creditors delay in accepting. Ito naman, both are late or both are delayed. Si debtor in performing, si creditor, both of them. Si debtor at si creditor. Sandali lang class, ha? Okay. Tumawag lang. When you speak therefore of delay, ito ang tunay na delay. Kasi ito hindi naman, these two are not normal. They are not normal. Really, sir? Yes. They are not normal, class. Hindi normal yan, dalawang yan. Creditor na nadidelay, meron bang creditor na didelay? Hindi normal na nadidelay si creditor sa pagtanggap. May nakita pa kayo na pagdating sa utang, yung creditor ang umiiwas? Ay, nandun yung may utang sa akin. Kailangan magtago ako, pakabayaran ako. Meron ba ganun? Naku, nandiyan na yung magbabayad sa akin. Naku. Meron ba ganun? Abe, hindi normal yun Si creditor ang nagtatago. Ang normal, eto ang nagtatago. See? So, hindi normal itong moral recipiente at kompensasyon murae. Ito ang, when we speak of delay, ito, kaya we focus sa mora solventi for debtors delay. So, what are the requirements of mora solventi? Number one, it is a positive, it is a valid, positive obligation. Positive obligation because there is no delay in obligation not there is no delay in obligation not to do because all you have to do is not to do. See? Huwag kang magperform. Huwag kang kumilos. At yung hindi mo pagkilos will be the performance. No delay in obligation not to do which we call negative obligation. Number two, the obligation is due and demandable. Due. Demandable. Kasi baka naman, maybe it prescribed already. Maybe. Parang katang maybe this time, maybe now they can be more than just friends. Pag yan ang narinig ng iba, natatouch ang heart. Kasi naalala yung once upon a time special friend. Although may mas gusto ko isang maybe. Maybe there be no falling stars this time around. I still believe that honesty is all we ever need. You and me again, maybe this time. Yan, si Ma'am Jaja nyo, magaling kumanta, class. Pag kami tayong pakantahin nyo, si Ma'am Jaja nyo. Anyway, class, si Ma'am Jaja nyo saka si Sir Valladolid nyo, mga singers yung mga yan. Lalo na si Sir Valia ninyo. Paano maging singer? Meron silang sariling videoke. May videoke bar sila sa bar, videoke bar sa Nabotas. Anyway, class, maybe it prescribed already. Pag sinabi mong 10 years ago na yung utang na yan, wala na. Because normally, obligations prescribe after 10 years. Number 3 is crucial. Very important yung number 3. So what is number 3, sir? The creditor demanded performance. Ayan. See the importance of demand. And number 4, debtor fails to perform despite the demand. Fails to perform despite the demand. Fails to perform despite the demand. So when all of these four are present, there is mora solvent. Kaya very important itong 3 tsaka 4. Nandiyan yung general rule sa 3 tsaka 4 na yan. Ano yung rule? 3 tsaka 4? Rule. No delay. If no, demand. Whether it is judicial or extrajudicial. No delay if no demand, whether judicial or extrajudicial. The demand. The demand through the court or out of court. That means delay is not automatic. Ibig sabihin, pagdating ng due date at hindi siya nakapag-perform, kailangan may demand muna. Kung walang demand, wala pang delay. Hindi porke due date ngayon, automatic na delay or default ka na. Kailangan may demand muna si creditor. So, yan ang rule. Now, ano yung exception to the rule? Na ang delay, pagdating sa due date, hindi ka nakaperform, ay automatic. Hindi na kailangan ng demand. So, your keyword is are told. What is are told? I will. Uy, sorry class. Okay lang ba? Baka kumokopya pa kayo. Ha? Sige. Ito, positive obligation. Obligation is due. Ibig sabihin, due date na. Kaya very important na due date. Kasi hanggat hindi pa due date yan, hindi ka pwede mag-demand. You can only make a demand on the due date. At hindi siya nag-perform. Number 1, pagdating sa reciprocal obligation. Example says, when one party is ready, but other party is not, delay starts. Halimbawa, one party is ready to deliver. Basta due date na, due date, ready na ako magbayad. Ikaw, hindi ka ready mag-deliver. Kasi ang sales, kaliwaan niya, class. Pag ready ako magbayad, hindi ka ready mag-deliver, delay starts. I can charge you with damages already, or vice versa. Ready ka mag-deliver sa akin ngayon, pero hindi ako ready magbayad. Pero ngayon yung araw na usapan natin, delay is automatic. I can charge you already with damages, or I can rescind the sale plus damages. Huwag na natin ituloy ang sale. Hindi ka naman pala ready eh. Kaso na nakompromiso ako sa mga kausap ko, i-charge kita ng damages. I will charge you with 1 million damages over your failure to perform. Yan ang reciprocal obligation. Number 2, when time is essential in the performance of the obligation. Ibig sabihin, hindi na pwedeng bukas. So, halimbawa, class, halimbawa, ikaw, nangako ka na mag-deliver kay Sir Valladolid mo, ng kabayo, horse. Horse, on December, a horse. On December 25, 2023, as your Christmas gift for your Sir Valia. Kasi Pasko na December na December na, Pasko na naman, o kahit huli ng araw, Paskong nagdaan, tila ba? Let's go. Pasko na naman muli. Kanta. Mas maganda yung Christmas song na masaya. Ako, ang gusto ko nung high school ako, yung kuhan yun. On the first day of Christmas, my true love sent to me. Or dashing through the snow. Kaysa naman yung mga malulungkot na Christmas song. Oh, holy night, the stars are brightly shining. Oh, dumating ang December 25. Wala kang naibigay na kabayo kay Sir Valiam. Are you in delay or default already? The answer is no. Because wala pa siyang demand. You see? Horse. Kay isa yung Sir Valia. If no demand on that date, there is no delay. See? Ay, kailan ngayon time is essential? But, ayan when essential on December 25. Example, magkakaroon ng parade. Magkakaroon ng parade sa place ni na Sir Valian nyo. Sasakay siya sa kabayo dahil escort siya nung Miss Barangay nila. Yan may Miss Barangay, kaya gawin na lang natin. Kasi nakatira sa Pasig si Sir Valian yun. Miss Pasig. Anak naman ng tinabax. At ang escort, si Sir Valladolid nyo. Iikot ngayon yung Miss Pasig. Iikot yung float ng Miss Pasig. Kasunod ang kabayo. Nakasakay si Sir Valian nyo sa kabayo. Naka-box, ano yun? Yung parang cowboy attire. Naka-boots. May gloves pa. Merong dalawang 45 caliber, left and right. Mukhang tatalunin pa si FPJ at saka si Lito Lapid pagdating sa barilan. May sombrero siya. Nakatayo siya doon sa kabayo. So, that means, ang umpisa ng parade ay 1 p.m. O gawin na lang natin 2 p.m. para hindi na masyado mainit. Hindi ka dumating. Say, dumating ka alas 5 na ng hapon, tapos na yung parade. See? Ano sasabihin? Halimbawa, si Sir Gloria nyo na lang ang nangako kay Sir Valia. Pagdating ng alas 5, saka dumating yung kabayo, dala-dala ni Gloria. Ano sasabihin ni Sir Valia nyo? Gloria, Ramelo Gloria, kainin mo na yung kabayo mo. Tapos na ang parade. Alam mo naman ang umpisa ng parada alas 2. Tapos na ang parade. Ano pang gagawin ko dyan sa kabayo mo? Kainin mo na lang yan. Alam mo ba anong sinakyan ko? Sumakay ako sa kambing. Kambing Pinagtatawanan pa nga ako ng mga tao At sa hirap ng kambing na dinanas niya, pagdating doon sa dulo, namatay pa. Kasalanan mo yan. Galit na galit, sister. Valia music class. Time is essential. Hindi kailangan mag-demand. Ganun din class yung mga nagpatahi ka ng wedding, nagpatahi ang family nyo ng wedding dress para sa ikakasal mo na pinsan. Demand is not required. Pagdating ng due date, pagdating doon, nung kukunin, hindi pa ready, automatic ang delay. Hindi pwede sabihin ng tailoring owner na, ay nako, sana ni-remind nyo. Anong ni-remind? 2 months ago na nag-usap tayo. Ayan, nakalagay, Ito, resibo, nag-down payment na kami ng 50%. Nakalagay dyan, Ito yung today yung due date kukunin namin dahil ang kasal bukas. O kayang kasal ay 2 days from now. Kailangan na namin yan. Unless makiusap yung tailoring na, sige po, i-overtime mo namin, pasensya na po. Ayun, pag pumayag ka. Pero pag hindi kayo pumayag, you can charge him with damages already. Because time now is essential. Okay, number 3. Yung Number 3, when obligation so provides. Example, sa ibang libro nakalagay if stipulated. Example, naka-stipulate, no need of demand. I will deliver, sabi ni A kay B, I will deliver my Toyota car to you on December 25, 2023 without, yan ha, nilagay niya, without need of demand. Number 4, when law so provides. Example, pagdating sa taxes, like VAT. VAT is paid monthly and quarterly. Yung monthly class within 20 days. Nagbayad ka, malate ka lang ng 1 day, automatic ng penalty. See, 1 day only, late ka na. Hindi mo pwede sabihin, BIR people, remember, no delay, no demand. Wala yan. They don't care. We don't care about your civil code because pagdating sa taxation, we follow the tax code. And the tax code is really superior sa civil code. And number 5, when demand would be useless. So, we ask the question why. Why useless? Because either the debtor has already lost it or the debtor has promised it to another person. Ibig sabihin at fault siya. Nawala niya, syempre, ano pang demand mo? Nawala na niya eh. Ano pang halaga ng iyong demand? Or, naibigay na pala niya sa another person. Example, excuse me, class. Yung horse. Remember the horse na pinangako ni Sir Gloria nyo kay Sir Valia nyo on December 25, 2023? December 24, the day before the performance. Nagja-jogging, nagja-jogging si Sir Valia nyo. Si Sir Valia nyo nagja-jogging. Nagja-jogging sa Luneta. Aba, nakita niya class si Sir Costa nyo. Si Sir Costa nyo, pagulong-gulong. Pagulong-gulong doon sa damuhan. Sa may, sa may bandang kanan ng Luneta. Pagulong-gulong, may yakap-yakap na kabayo. Sabi ni Sir Valia nyo, "Oy, pare, ang ganda naman ng kabayo mo, ang cute." Sabi niya, "Pare, bigay ito sa akin ni Gloria. In fact, may napangakuan nga daw siya na tao, kaso lang nagbago siya ng isip, kaya binibigay niya sa akin. Nag-iisa lang niya daw na kabayo ito eh." Aba, tinanong pa ni Sir Valia mo, he repeated. "Ano ulit? Paki-ulit? Kaninong kabayo?" Sabi niya, kay Sir Gloria, binigay niya sa akin. Meron nga daw siya na pangakuan na hindi ko alam kung sino yon. Nagbago siya ng isip. Di maliwanag na siya yon. Si Sir Valia mo yung napangakuan na yon, di na siya nagsalita. Malungkot si Sir Valia. Nawala na yung powers niya. Kanina pa jogging-jogging pa siya. Ngayon wala na. Malungkot na siya. Kasi maliwanag na yun yung kabayo na yon. Now, I'll ask you, is there a delay now? The answer is no. Dahil hindi pa naman due date, December 24 pa ngayon. Pero kinabukasan class, the following day, December 25 the due date, at walang dumating na kabayo. Delay, demand is useless. Delay is automatic. Because eto tayo. See? Parang sa salita natin yan. Aasa ka pa ba? Nakita mo na sa piling ng iba? Uulitin ko, aasa ka pa ba? Nakita mo na sa piling ng iba? Nakita na ni Bali, sa piling na ng iba yung kabayong yun eh. Asa pa ba siya? Demand would be useless. Okay, class? So these are maraming beses ko tinanong sa board exam class. Isa ito sa mga hindi nyo dapat kalimutan. The rule on delay. Nasa rule, delay or default requires demand. Without demand, there is no delay or default in civil law. Exception to the rule are taught. Okay? Okay, and the last is contravention of the tenor of the obligation. Ito, contravention of the tenor of the obligation. Contravention means violation. Tenor means terms of the obligation. Contravention of the terms of the obligation. Para bang halimbawa, borrowed the car of B. At ang usapan ay for 3 days. Ang usapan ay within Metro Manila on niya gagamitin. Ang ginawa ni he brought the car to Bicol. At doon, nagkaroon ng fortuitous event. Nagkaroon ng fortuitous event. Biglang lumindol because of the unstable Mayon situation. Oh. Dahil sa lakas ng lindol glass, nawala ng control, bumangga yung kotse. Is liable despite fortuitous event, which is an exempting circumstance? Because normally, class, pag may fortuitous event, exempt ka. Pero liable ba si A? Yes. Because bago nangyari yung fortuitous event, nag-contravene na siya. He already violated the terms of the obligation. Ang usapan ay within Metro Manila. Dinala mo sa Bicol. Kahit may fortuitous event, liable ka. Kasi nananahimik yung kotse ko sa Metro Manila. Ba't mo dinala sa Bicol? Kahit may fortuitous event, may kasalanan ka pa rin. So, yan ang contravention of the tenor of the obligation. So, dahil na-discuss natin ang fortuitous event, ano ba ang fortuitous event? So, what is FE? What is fortuitous event? The word fortuitous, caso fortuito. Fortuitous event. So, it is an event which cannot be foreseen, or an event which can be foreseen, but inevitable. Cannot be foreseen but inevitable. So, cannot be foreseen, huh? So, what are the requirements or the requisites? What are the requisites para masabi mo? Requisites class. Synonym of requirements. Number one, the event is, young class, either impossible to foresee or impossible to avoid. Yan, impossible to foresee or impossible to avoid. Hindi kailangan and, class or. Pag nilagay sa board sa inyong exam, to be a fortuitous event, it must be impossible to foresee and impossible to avoid. False yun. Or lang. See? Ganong class ang law. Isang word lang pwedeng maging true or false. Sabihin niya, a fortuitous event is an event which is impossible to foresee and impossible to avoid. Pwedeng true yun, pero pag sinabi niyan to be a fortuitous event, it must be both impossible to foresee and impossible to avoid. Or kahit alisin mo yung both, pero sinabi niyan to be a fortuitous event, ibig sabihin, requirement niya para maging fortuitous event, pareho dapat daw impossible to foresee at impossible to force. Kasi the law says forward. Number two, the event is beyond debtor's control. Kaya nga impossible or beyond debtor's control. Hindi creditor's control, beyond debtor's control. Number three, because of these two, it is now impossible by debtor class to perform. It is now impossible kay debtor to perform and perform. And number 4, wala na akong space. Debtor has no fault. Or what you call contributory negligence. Or fault. Example class, tingnan mo yung mga during storm. May order sa mga ships not to proceed. Kasi, although signal 1 only, may warning na anytime pwedeng tumaas. Anong ginawa ng barko? Dumarga pa rin. Kasi signal number 1 lang naman daw. Despite the warning by the government. Pagdating sa gitna ng dagat das, yung signal 1 naging signal number 5. Signal number 5, matindi. Natumba yung barko. Lumubog. Maraming taong namatay o na-injure. Pwede bang sabihin ng shipping company na may fortuitous event? Yes. Pwede niya sabihin na may fortuitous event, but the fortuitous event will not exempt him. Kasi disqualified siya sa number 4. Debtor, may fault. Alam nyo na may storm. May warning ng government. Lumarga pa rin kayo. So you are negligent. Okay? Debtor dapat has no fault or contributory negligence. Kasi class, when all the 4 are present, basta present yung 4 na yan. Itong 4 na to, this portion. If all these four are present, what is the effect? Debtor is exempt from any liability. Any liability to pay damages. That is the rule. That is the rule. But remember, for every rule, there is an exception. That is the rule. What is the exception to the rule? Rule. Rule. Yan yung rule. Ano ang exception to the rule? In the following cases, despite for 3 to 7, debtor is still liable. So ano to? Yan ang keyword mo, lugs. Importante dito, class, ha? Tinatanong din yan sa board exam. Tinatanong din sa board exam. Okay? After this, mag-break tayo ng 10 minutes lang. Kasi yan ang rule sa mind class. Every 1.5 hour maximum. Dapat mag-break ka kahit na 10 minutes lang. Okay. So, number 1, when law so provides. Ano example niyan? Example niyan yung if debtor is partly with fault. Yan, basta nakita niyo na si debtor ay liable for FNDC. Liable siya for fraud, negligence, delay or intervention. Kahit may fortuitous event, hindi siya exempt. Number 2, when obligation requires assumption of risk. Example of that is insurance. See? Kaya nga in-insure yan sa fire or sa marine or any fortuitous event. Number 3, when it is generic, because of the principle of genus non quam perit, meaning the generic never perish. Hindi nawawala ang marami. Except, so exception to the exception ito, except if it is what you call delimited generic. Because a delimited generic is now specific. Example class, this chair or this car. Yan na lang. This cell phone. Pag sinabi mong cellphone or chair, this chair na lang, this chair. Pag sinabi mong chair at chair, generic yan. Pero pag sinabi mong this chair, tandaan mo, itong maliit na chair na to, bibigay ko sa iyo. Ito yung bibigay ko sa iyo bukas. Gusto mo, kagatan mo ito, kagatin mo, para magmarka yung ngipin mo, para alam mo na ito yung pinangako ko sa iyo. This is now a delimited generic because it can now be lost due to fortuitous event. Is Delimited generic siya. It is now specific. Now can be lost due to fortuitous event. See? Dahil nag-iisa na lang siya ngayon. Nag-iisa na lang ang silya na may kagat, may marka ng ngipin mo. Kasi class, kung lahat ng silya may marka ng ngipin mo, may mahirap yun. Ha? Ibig sabihin, ang marka ng ngipin mo, trademark. Okay, class. Ha? So, generic cannot be lost due to fortuitous event unless it is delimited generic because it is now specific. And number four, exception to the rule na kahit na may fortuitous event, liable ka. Number four, when it is stipulated. Sir, pwede ba? Yes. Pwedeng i-stipulate ng parties. Siyempre, in writing yan. Kasi kung hindi in writing, pagdating sa kuwan, ilagay doon, I will deliver this car to you despite fortuitous event. Yun yun, stipulate. Okay? A minute for you to organize your notes. Ay, 9 o'clock. Yan. 9 o'clock na pala. Kasi papunta na tayo sa kinds of obligation. Okay, so, yan ha. Kahit na 10-minute break lang tayo, ha? Kahit na 10-minute break lang, pwede na. Habang kumakopya kayo, ako naman yung mga nakaupo at nakafocus sa computer, kailangan mag-stretch muna kayo. Ilabas nyo muna yung mata nyo sa computer. Kasi class, pag matagal nakatitig, nakakasira ng mata yan. Matagal ka nakatitig. Tapos nabubwisit yung brain mo. Nagkakaroon ng unnecessary stress. 1.5, sabi ng Harvard. 1.5. Nakalimutan ko sabihin sa inyo last meeting. 1 hour to maximum of 1.5, kailangan i-relax mo yung mind mo kahit na 5 to 10 minutes. Relax your eyes, relax your mind, stretching. Kung sa classroom yan, kaya nga kita mo sa classroom, kita nyo sa school, maximum of 1 hour or 1.5 hour, 1 and 3 hours, kasi nga because of that, hindi mo kayang mag-focus ng more than 1 hour, or lalo na kung more than 1.5. Ability mo lang hanggang 1 hour, maximum of 1.5. Ayaw na ng mind mo. I-break mo muna. Kahit na 5 minutes to 10 minutes. Stretching ka muna. Or kung gusto mo, dancing ka muna. Dancing lang. Dancing. Kung hindi ka marunong mag-dance, magpaturo ka kay Sir Valladolid mo. At kay Sir Gloria mo. Si Sir Gloria mo, hindi marunong sumayaw. Marunong lang siya tumula. Okay, class, ha? See? So, 5 to 10 minutes, break lang naman. Then we go to kinds of obligation.